The death toll in Gaza has risen to 20,000, up from 15,000 last week, making the number of killed and displaced higher than the number of killed and displaced during the Nakba. Last week, a humanitarian pause was declared, but this pause is exactly that, just a pause. And even so, Israel has still continued to arrest hundreds of Palestinians. Nevertheless, activists in New York City have taken this brief respite to organize a vigil to mourn the 20,000 dead. And many of the organizers here are Palestinian or know someone in Palestine, so this hits very close to home. But the mood here isn't just somber. People are here to mourn, but they're also here to recommit themselves to struggle.
Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
So we won't stop, not until there's a permanent ceasefire, not until every single one of our prisoners have been released, until the siege and the blockade of Gaza have been ended, until we sever the ties between America and Israel, and not until Palestine is free, from the river to the sea.
ونسألك اللهم أن تتقبل الشهداء بقبول حسن وأن تنزل السكينة على قلوبنا وقلوب أمهات الشهداء وثبت قلوب آبائهم. اللهم اكتب عندك الشهداء شفاعا لنا ولأهلهم. اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين. اللهم قوي إيمانهم في السجون وتحت التعذيب. إنهم مظلومون فانتصر وأطلق أسراهم يا أرحم الراحمين وعليك بالحكام الظالمين.
Something you might not know is that Lamis and Tamar, who you just heard from, are from Gaza. Tamar's father is currently in the south of Gaza. Our purpose being here today is to stand in the face of this relentless violence, which is so often abstracted, and to allow us a moment to speak the stories of our martyrs.
The activists spent the night reading the stories of just a few of the 20,000 plus people that have been killed in the last few weeks.
I stand here today to honor the martyrs of my family. On November 6th, Israel directly targeted Italiano restaurant, a pizza shop in the El Rimal neighborhood of Gaza City near Al-Shifa Hospital. Taking refuge there was Muhammad Ali Abu Amara, his wife Jamalat al-Hajjar, and their three sons, Saleh Muhammad Abu Amara, Abdullah Muhammad Abu Amara, Abdurrahman Muhammad Abu Amara, along with their wives and children. It is said that anyone who entered their restaurant and could not pay was given food free of charge, expecting nothing in return. On November 6th, at around 7 p.m., Italiano was targeted. Targeted because it was one of the last places still distributing food, knowing that Israel was directly targeting such sources of life. Till today, only 2 of the 5 were able to be extracted and 3 still remain under the rubble. The states of their bodies are unknown. And as of 3 hours ago, when I called my mother, we've lost complete contact with the rest of my family, and we have no idea what the state of life is there for them right now.
Since the mainstream media almost never treats Palestinian deaths as anything beyond just numbers, the research into the intricate backstories told about each person had to be done by volunteers combing through Facebook posts written in Arabic and Twitter. The thousands of paper poppies meant to represent the national flower of Palestine were also handmade by volunteers at the planning meeting, which we covered earlier this week.
We have one more story and testimony for you of the family members of Wa'il Dahdu. Raise your hand if you didn't know who that was a week ago or more. Don't be shy. He was a journalist. He is a journalist, and his family was murdered, and we're gonna hear their story now. But here's the thing, they try to silence us by targeting journalists or targeting their families. But now all of you here will know their stories. We'll only shout it louder. We'll only learn about it more. And whatever they try, it'll never cut us down.
For Palestinians, even mourning has become a constant site of struggle. In Palestine, it's common to see videos of Israeli police brutalize and arrest funeral goers, even those of Palestinian national heroes like the world-renowned Al Jazeera reporter Shireen Abu Akleh.
Israel also regularly desecrates and destroys Palestinian cemeteries. Israel has long been trying to destroy the grave of one of Palestine's most important historical figures, Izzeddin al-Qassam, a Palestinian nationalist who fought against the British occupation of Palestine in the early Zionist movement before the State of Israel even existed. Israelis regularly vandalized Qassam's grave, and Israel even sold al-Qassam cemetery to a private construction company in an attempt to have it wiped out. Similarly, in New York, a handful of scattered Israel sympathizers showed up to heckle the vigil and mock the things the mourners were chanting. At a certain point, the Deutsche Bank Center, the shopping mall the vigil was held outside of, started loudly playing Christmas music.
Even in our mourning and our rage, they're trying to drown us out with whatever that is.
In a sense, this fear of Palestinians mourning their own dead only proves that Palestine's fallen never really die. The spirit of Palestine's martyrs is immortalized with every stone thrown, every child born, and every promise to return from a new generation of Palestinian youth. This is why Israel treats Palestinians with such vile hatred and vitriol, even in death, because they know that Palestinian resistance continues beyond death. But in doing so, they've only given birth to a new generation of Palestinian youth that will permanently seal Zionism's inevitable fate.
Every story we have heard here tonight is a seed for the liberation of the Palestinian people. Not one story stays here tonight. The stories have to go out into the streets. They have to go out into our workplaces. They have to go out into our schools. Not 1 minute of silence.